Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Metal Chaos. This is your host, Dave. I got a special guest from the legendary Anvil, Steve Lips, Kudlow. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing okay.
How you doing with the lockdown situation going on? You staying sane?
Not really. It's awful. I walked inside. I haven't been out in a month.
Yeah. So do you at least have time to maybe work on some material and stuff while you're in?
No, can't go rehearse. Can't go to rehearse. The rehearsal place is locked down too, so you can't even. We're not even really allowed outside.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? It's. I don't know. I don't know what to think of all of this. It's crazy.
Yeah, 42 years with Anvil going on is the first time you ever had this situation, huh?
I think it's the first time the world has ever had this situation. 43 years. Nothing like this has ever happened before, at any point. So, I mean, it's unprecedented. It's never been.
Yeah. So now, anyway, going back to Anvil, did you ever think the band would go for 42 years, man?
Did I ever think what?
Did you ever think Anvil would last 42 years?
Yeah, I did. Well, if I lived that long, sure, why not? It's more about how long I'm going to live is how long it's going to last. So I mean, that's really the only way to look at it. When I decided to do this, it was for a lifetime endeavor, and I never planned to retire. You do this until you die. So it's what it is. 43 years, let's hope it goes 50 years. I mean, what can I say?
Yeah. 18 studio albums, man. Can't believe you guys got 18 albums out, man. 18 albums.
I can. You got 43 years to do it. That's pretty understandable. You better hope that you're going to do that much.
And you guys were like such a big influence on bands like Metallica and Anthrax and Slayer.
Well, I suppose that's what they claim. I don't make any claims to anything. I just do what I do and have been doing all along. And that's if they want to give me credit for having influenced them, that's lovely. That's wonderful. I mean, in the same way that in a conversation that I had with Lemmy 37 years ago, I said, "You're such a huge influence on me, man. You can't believe, and what you've done and this and that and the other." And he just turns to me, he goes, "Well, in 10 or 20 years, man, they're going to say the same shit to you." And he was right.
Yeah. Well.
I'll keep going.
So what age did you start playing the guitar?
Sounds boring.
Pardon me?
I said, what age did you pick up the guitar?
Oh, I started when I was 10.
Now, did you take guitar lessons?
And I'm 64, so that's a long time ago.
Now, you took lessons or were you self-taught on guitar?
I took lessons for a short period of time, but most of what I do, I learned myself, and basically and fundamentally, I learned by writing. I never got much out of copying anything. I discovered what I can play by writing and being creative with it. That's how I kind of learned how to play. Which is kind of unusual, but not really. If you're a songwriter, I think that's the way it works. You actually, with guitar, you teach yourself how to play by writing songs, by being creative and figuring out how to play, and figuring out how you play, you write your own songs. And I've been doing it since I was a little kid, so it's kind of like a natural progression.
So what do you enjoy most out of being a musician?
Playing live. And if not live anymore, then I guess that I'm just going to have to be happy with writing songs and putting them on albums. I really hope that this COVID thing goes away enough so that bands can go out and play. But I'm kind of concerned because it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon.
Now, what do you hate most about being a musician?
What do I hate the most?
Yeah, about being a musician.
Probably the negative aspect of what's out there. I mean, you got to face it. Most people are going to hate what you do. It's metal music. Metal music is a subgenre. It's not country and western. So all the people who like country and western and classical music and rap music and everything, they're going to hate what I do. So in other words, the majority of the world is going to hate what I do. That's what I don't like. That you can't get past the stigma of the idea of something, the name, it's heavy metal. Well, anybody who doesn't like heavy metal doesn't like your music. I don't like the categorization of things. That's probably the thing that I like the least about being in the music business is everything is pigeonholed and categorized and named and given a they call it a genre. And to me, there's only two kinds of music I like and music I don't like. I don't think that it needs to be categorized. And I think that's what I really, really dislike the most is the categorization of the way that people look at music. This is country and western. That's classical music. No, it's all music. Do you like it or don't you? That's the end of it. You should go no further than that. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, just like with heavy metal, there's so many different genres of heavy metal they've come up with now.
Yeah, that's another ridiculous aspect that is kind of really just nonsense, and once again, that makes me feel more about there's music I like and I don't like. And it's to actually categorize anything in particular, I think is waste of time. I mean, okay, if I categorize something, I call it Cookie Monster metal. I don't like it. Well, what's Cookie Monster metal? It's all the stuff where the guy's barking instead of singing. That to me is not. That's not musical. It's not identifiable. It's not anything. It's music I don't like. And I could say that about, country and western. I don't particularly like country and western. I can't stand when a guy's singing, putting on an accent, with a twang in his voice, That really, I find that annoying. The guy comes from, a guy could come from Detroit, Michigan, and he's singing like he's coming from Texas. I don't like that. You should, what comes natural is what it should be, and that's kind of the way I look at it. Why are you singing, grunting and groaning and barking? Why don't you just sing?
Yeah.
It's really the same difference, isn't it?
Yeah. So now, Steve, if you could change anything about the music industry, what would it be?
Well, there are too many things about the music business that need to be changed that'll never change. And certainly music has become completely devalued as far as money is concerned. How do you fix that? There's no turning it around. It's the digital age, all the downloading, all the cheating about how it's getting paid for, all of it. You know, the way that bands are being paid for royalties in the sense of streaming and watched on YouTube. You know, you can have a million views on YouTube and you don't get paid a nickel for it. So I think that there's a lot of things about the music industry that basically you don't make a living. And in fact, really, that's the biggest problem with the music business is you're not getting paid for the music. You're getting paid for merchandise, for T-shirts. You can't even sell CDs anymore, so you're not getting paid for your music. So what are you selling? T-shirts, hats, patches, and that's how you're making your living. I think that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
That your music becomes nothing more than an advertisement for your merchandise. I think that's fucked up. It should be the other way around, and it isn't. And how do you fix it? You can't. That's the modern world. That's the way it went. That's what we did.
Yep. Yeah, I remember the old days when I used to look at the metal magazines and see the release dates on the album and run out to the record stores to get that release as soon as it came out and be all excited about it.
Well, now there's no record stores to go run to. And if there is, they probably don't have your favorite album there because it costs too much for the record store to bring it all in because there's thousands of releases every year. How do they keep up with it? Where are they going to put it all? And then with no one buying it, that's the other thing. If you can get the music for free, that's what you're going to do, and that's what people have been doing for decades. You know, when people used to, let me borrow your so-and-so album, and they'd borrow your vinyl, and they'd record it on cassette.
Yeah.
You know, any way that you can get music for free, that's the way things gravitated. So, what did it do to the music industry? It made it so that that musicians don't make money from music. What else has changed? Well, because of that, there's no infrastructure. There's no way for a record company to really exist and to get behind bands to get them to be big enough so that they can play fucking huge concerts. Right?
Yep.
So name me one band that's in their 20s that's filling arenas. There isn't.
Nope.
And that's why. Because the whole infrastructure and the whole way that the music industry works, it doesn't work to do that anymore. So the days of Led Zeppelins and Black Sabbaths and Deep Purples and Pink Floyds and Jethro Tulls, The Who, all those days are gone. There's not going to be anything to replace that, ever. Not the way that it's gone. It's not possible. So these are major issues that we're going to have to. That this is the way what we have to deal with. This is what it is, and not to even mention all the different fragmentation of the genres, where you call it heavy metal, and then there's fucking 200 different kinds of heavy metal. I mean, how do you advertise? How do you market that? How do you get that known? How do you advertise? How do you it's everything is out on its own. Everything is basically every man for himself. You know, you're almost better off not recording records anymore. You might as well just do one song at a time and release it on YouTube. You know, it's changed. Everything has changed, and not for the better.
Yeah. So now, for your latest release, Legal at Last, how's the sales been going with that one?
I don't know. And quite frankly, in a certain sense, I don't really care. I put an album out. I did the best I could. it's either accepted or not by whatever people buy it or don't buy it, and then it's on to the next. I'm already writing my next record anyway. So does any of that matter? It hasn't for 43 years, so it's probably not going to. It still doesn't matter. What matters is what I'm doing for tomorrow, and that's how I kind of look at it. So I'm kind of that's where I am right now, is looking for tomorrow. It's, you know, how is the new album doing? It must have done well, because the record company seems to be happy, and they're not telling me that they want to drop me. So I guess that I must have done well enough that I can continue, and they're going to put out more records. So I guess it's all good.
Now, how long was the recording process to make Legal Left?
A month.
And where did you guys...
Any record you make in a month. It shouldn't be taking longer than a month to put a record together.
And where did you guys record this one at?
In Germany. Same place as we did the last one.
Dave, talk about his last show.
So now, the last... When was the last show you guys played? Last year?
The last show?
Yeah, what was the last show you guys played?
I remember the city. It was in the UK, but a month and a half ago.
No, so you guys finished up with the European tour?
They were in the UK?
No, had to come home early. There was this thing called COVID-19 that happened, and we had to come home. Otherwise, I'd still be in Europe right now.
Ask him.
Yeah, just like those other bands, they had to come back. Exodus and Testament and Death Angel.
Yeah, we had all of Germany to tour. We had all of Spain and Italy. We had tons of. We were only like a third through the tour when we had to come home. We had something like 53 shows, and we were at the 18th show or something like that. Yeah, it's too bad.
So are those shows going to be rescheduled?
Oh, they already are. It's just we've got to wait till almost the end of the year before we go back. We're not there till November, December. So
tell them.
Until then, we're not playing anywhere. And quite frankly, I don't think anyone else is either. So
tell them when you go to the store.
What am I going to do? I'm going to write my next album. That's what I'm doing right now. And I'll get down to it. I'll be done in a couple months, and then we'll, in the springtime, we'll go out and tour the USA and Canada. We'll do Europe in the fall, and whatever was left, if we can. I mean, there is a chance that could get canceled too, so who knows? We want to be in the studio next summer, so. And have a record out for sure by 2022. And that'll be that. It's on to the next, man.
Now, when you go out to the stores, do you put the face mask on?
I haven't been out to the store. My wife has gone to the store, and everybody's social distancing. You are only allowed a couple people in the store at a time, so whether you're wearing a mask or not, doesn't really matter. There's no one else around. Very, very strict, stringent tactics going on right now.
Oh, let me talk to him for a second. Okay, Steve, when we go to the store by our house, I mean, yes, half the people wear masks, half the people don't. But there's like hundreds of people in the store. There's not much really social distancing going on, because it's really not affecting anybody over here where we live.
Where are you?
We're in Illinois, by Wisconsin.
Right.
The northern border.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
It still hasn't hit there. It will.
No, it won't.
There's nowhere to hide, man.
Steve.
There's nowhere to hide.
Steve.
I honestly believe that.
I know.
And I honestly believe that.
Steve, my dear.
You will
relax.
eventually.
Relax.
I think everybody will eventually be exposed to it?
No.
And whether
no.
you get...
Actually, no. I'm telling you this. Just, it's going to be over very soon. I already know. Yeah, go back to the interview. Dave, ask him some questions.
Not with people breaking the rules, it's not going to be over too soon.
No,
They're talking about a second wave of it in the fall. So this is not going to go away. It's a community disease that is extremely contagious. There's nowhere to hide. It gets everywhere. And it's like I said, everybody is going to get exposed to it at one point or another. And depending on what your immune system, the condition of your immune system, is whether you're going to get sick or whether you're going to die. And that's it. It's just like every other flu or cold. Everybody gets a cold or flu every year. And that's millions of people. And there's, no matter where you live, a cold or a flu.
Yeah.
So it's just that we happen to know the name of this one and it's been identified. But aside from that, it's going to be life as usual living on this planet. That's what it is. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's what it is. But every year, no matter as long back as I can remember, I've gotten a cold or I've gotten a flu. So, the same way as I got the mumps, I got the measles, I had chicken pox, everybody gets these things. It's part of what it means to be alive. That's what it is. And there's the only way that you're not going to catch something is if you're dead. But if you're alive, more than likely you're going to catch something, and everybody always does. So that's why I'm saying that in eventuality, there's nowhere you can go that you won't get sick if there's other people around, unless you live in complete isolation and you don't live near anybody and never go near anybody. Then you're probably never going to catch it. But if you live in the real world where people each other and you have a chance of seeing other human beings, you're going to get sick from that or from something else in eventuality, no matter what you do. And that's the way it is.
So Steve, what's the story behind the name Anvil? How did you guys come up with that name many years ago?
What, the name Anvil?
Yeah, what made you guys come up with that name?
It was, what's an anvil? It's a hunk of heavy metal. What was the up and coming music of that day and time? Heavy metal.
Yep.
So how did we come up with it? We were one of the first in line. You could have picked anything, and we picked that because it depicted what heavy metal was. So that's where the name came from. I mean, I don't know. We're lucky that we did. We were there early.
So what
when you're there early, you got lots of options.
Yeah, you guys, Metallica and Raven, they all came out about the same time.
Yeah, Metallica is probably about 3 to 4 years after. We were on our third album by then, when Metallica came out. When Metallica had their first album, we were putting out our third. So, and we were around probably 5 years before that. So, I don't know. Been around a long time, man.
Now, do you have one fondest? What's your fondest memory of being in the band Anvil? You have one memory that stands out the most?
Not really. Not really. I guess the most fun times, or the times that I cherish the most, would have been during the Motorhead tour in 1983, playing all through the UK. That was one of my favorite tours, and memories are from that. I mean, there's lots of good times and great things that I've lived through, but there are certain things and certain moments that you just never get back. So that's what you kind of look through rose-colored glasses and you go, man, I was lucky to have done that.
So what's been one of your favorite festivals to play at?
I'm not really particularly crazy about festivals. One of the best festivals I've ever played was a Wacken festival where we played in a tent. Played in a big tent that held about 20,000 people. That was great. That's better than playing the big stage, because on the big stage you're in front of 80,000 people and only 20,000 of them like your band. And that's the way it works for all of them, but that's generally the way it is. So you're better off playing in the tent in front of 20,000 of your own fans than playing in front of 80,000 people in front of only 20,000 of your own fans. There's a big difference. One, you feel like you're really loved, and the other one, you feel like you're just liked.
Yeah. So now, when you guys tour the United States, do you have any favorite cities to play?
I like New York. Always have a great time in New York and Los Angeles, San Francisco. San Diego's great. Portland, Oregon is always fun. Denver, Colorado, fucking awesome. I don't know. Those are kind of my favorite places. There's been some interesting, great times in, believe it or not, Wichita, Kansas. It was fucking awesome last tour.
When?
Yeah, I don't know. The favorites in the United States, not really. I mean, they're just, they're just more shows. They're generally all a lot of fun. But like I said, playing in Los Angeles and they're just being in the major cities is always a bonus, because it's a major city, so you're going to get a lot of people there. There's a lot of places to go and visit and hang around, and people that you know. And that's what I think that ultimately makes it what it is. Whether one place is better than the other is really has to do with where you have the most friends. That's what you sort of equate to having a good time, is where you have personal friends, right?
I know you got a lot of friends in Chicago.
And really, where your guest lists are huge. You know what I mean? That's usually your favorite places to play, because it's all the friends that you invite, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask him why they're making new t-shirts.
No, I'm sure you got a lot of friends in the Chicagoland area from all the years playing there.
Yeah, Chicago's is good. Generally speaking, we have quite a number of fans in Chicago, and once again, that's one of the major cities, and it's always good when we play there. So yeah, I mean, Chicago's another fun place to play.
Now, did you guys have a good time when you guys played the NYDM Spring Bash last year for Randy Kastner?
Where was that?
The NYDM Spring Bash in Milwaukee.
Oh, I don't even remember what that is.
that was the festival that Randy Kastner put on in Milwaukee. He had a festival going on.
Yeah, right. I know which place you're talking about.
Yeah, you guys played on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was kind of a mediocre. I remember it as not being particularly great, and I don't know why that was. It's just kind of like whatever. The stage there was god awful at that place. That I remember. I think that's why it was not that enjoyable. You didn't have much room on stage. You couldn't really put much of a physical show on. You know, and the placement of the equipment was really peculiar, and yeah, it was okay.
Now, what's been one of your most embarrassing moments on stage with Anvil?
Embarrassing moments?
Yep.
Jesus, you try to forget them. Why would I remember it? You know what I mean? I don't know. Embarrassing moments?
Well,
not really.
How about a funny story? You had something funny?
I don't know. Nothing but debauchery stories, which can be funny, but I don't really prefer to talk about them.
Some of the first plays you played.
So now, how important is? Yeah, I know social media is, at this day and age, social media is the thing to use now to promote your band. But what do you think about social media?
Well, I was on Facebook for a number of years, and about a year ago or a little more, I deleted my profile. Had enough. Mostly because the negativity, the general overall negativity, and the ignorance and bullshit. It's like a lot of bullshit facts and lies and exaggerations and just general stupidity drove me away from it. Got sick and tired of it. And the politics. A lot of the politics. Really, really sick and fed up with it.
All right, now, who are your biggest influences for guitar players? You have any?
Tony Iommi is probably the most influential to me. I liked Itchy Richie Blackmore in his day. Other guys, I guess, of course, Scorpions. I love the Scorpions, particularly the earlier Scorpions with Uli Roth. Great guitar player, still is. Michael Schenker, without any doubt whatsoever. Ted Nugent, Frank Marino. I love Frank Marino.
Yeah, Mahogany
You
Rush.
probably don't even know what that is.
Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, yep.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Those guys like that, yeah.
Yeah. So now, are there any newer bands out there these days that you even listen to at all?
Honestly, no.
Again.
I don't listen to new music. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. What I grew up with is what I still like, and I will continue. And getting to like someone else or something new is very, very difficult for me.
I'm going to ask you a couple little fun questions here, then we'll wrap up this interview. Steve, when you were growing up as a little kid, what was your favorite cartoon? Did you have one?
When I was growing up as a kid, what was that question?
I said, when you were growing up as a little kid, did you have a favorite cartoon to watch?
A favorite cartoon?
Yeah, did you have one when you were a kid?
Oh, jeez. As a really little kid, Popeye.
Yeah, Popeye was always good.
And of course, Bugs Bunny cartoons. Like all the Warner Brothers cartoons were probably my favorite. Still are.
Oh yeah, they don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't. And the stuff that Mel Blanc, the voice was extraordinarily important. So the stuff that Mel Blanc did was the best.
All right, so what is your favorite food you like to eat?
Favorite food?
Yeah, what is your favorite food?
I like smoked ribs and chicken. I like steak, fish and chips.
And how about favorite beverage?
Probably these days it's water. It's like what do you call it? The sparkling water.
And one more question: what is your biggest pet peeve?
What, the thing that pisses me off the most?
Yeah.
People talking about things like they've got the people who have no facts and make up their own facts. That drives me up a wall.
I have facts.
People who come up with stories that are not true, talk about subjects that they have have done no research on. That kind of stuff really, really drives me crazy. And that's part of the reason why I got off Facebook, because basically people are putting up comments without research. They're just spouting opinions and don't have a clue about what they're talking about. That drives me fucking crazy.
All right, well, Steve, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do this interview. You have any final words for your fans out there?
No, not really. Just I wish everybody well, stay safe, stay happy, and stay out of trouble.
All right, well, thanks again, Steve. You have a great night.
Okay, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.